I've got with me two very special guests, Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar. Sunny bhai, we discussed the game last night, but now you've had time to reflect. How does it feel the next day?
Feels very, very good because the massive win. It's a massive win by 61 runs, and even getting Pakistan dismissed with a couple of overs to spare just tells you the complete dominance that the Indian team had. I said yesterday it was annihilation, and I want to say that again. I mean, what the Indian team did was put Pakistan in a washing machine. The Pakistan team in a washing machine. That's what I can say. The washing machine, how it goes like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Aisa karke, that's what they did.
Bajpa, what do you think? Many people are saying, why did you get Tilak and Rinku in the end? You thought that was you were rubbing salt into their wounds, or you thought khatam karte 16 over mein you should have finished it?
No, I think game was done in first 2 overs rather, when Bumrah bowled that over, took 2 wickets, and Hardik first wicket in the first over itself. And after that, it was just a catch-up kind of a game Pakistan were playing, and now Usman got a decent start. He got 40 odd, but none of their batters gets going, and none of them actually looked like they wanted to be out there and wanted to spend some time in the middle. And of course, as Sunny Bhai rightly mentioned, it was that kind of a victory where Team India put them in the washing machine and they kept going on and on and on and on. And of course, this will obviously will go on in records saying that the biggest victory for India, and of course not just the record wise but the confidence wise, because there are a lot of games to be played in this tournament for India. Pakistan was a more pressure game, but I think they have come here, they have showed their mettle. Team India was a superior team, better team on any ground.
So, what was the difference? Because, Harbhajan points out, the game was done first 3 overs. Is it a difference of skill level that's huge, or is it a question of temperament? They just can't handle the temperament. That's the difference. What's the big difference?
Both. I think when you look at the skill level, when you look, from player 1 to player 11, look at the difference in the skill level. There will be maybe the odd occasion where the skill levels will be maybe the same, but otherwise, man for man, the Indian team is better in terms of skill. And when you have confidence in your skills, then you're that much more confident temperamentally as well to come up with answers to any solution, any questions. And that is exactly what we saw yesterday. Despite the wicket of Abhishek Sharma going in the first over, despite there being turn on offer for the spinners, the manner in which Ishan Kishan took the game away from them, and the manner in which the smart cricket that was played by Tilak Verma, knocking the ones and twos rather than looking for the big shots, as well as Surya Kumar Yadav, it just tells you how does that happen? Because you're thinking smartly, you're temperamentally that much stronger to not look to go bash, but look ones, twos, the occasional boundary, very few dot balls. So yes, skill level and temperament level definitely far superior.
Ishan Kishan, about a year ago, we didn't even know whether he'll ever come back into Indian cricket. What a comeback he's made. I know you know him pretty well. You spent some time with him last evening as well. What is the secret of his success, you reckon?
I think the secret of his success is he back his game, and he knows that he's got the ability to score runs, and not just for himself. He's one of those guys who put the team in front and team's interest in front. So I think last 2 years have changed him completely. He's gone through a lot, learned a lesson, and made a comeback, and now he wants to make it count. And of course, sometimes these kind of setbacks make you realize that what all are you missing? When you're not playing for India. And myself, I can guarantee you, for a cricketer, nothing can be bigger than playing for India. And Ishan Kishan must have had a very tough time, while he was not playing for India, and he made sure that his cricket become priority again, and he worked on it, and worked not just on his game, also on the mental aspect, and came back into the squad. And look how this champion is performing, and so good to see such people setting an example for others as well. You can defeat anyone. First you have to defeat your own mind and say that I can do it. And what he has done yesterday was a commendable job. On that wicket, where it was so difficult to even take singles or doubles, and he was hitting boundary at ease. And I think his inning was the difference between two teams.
Okay, maybe that's what happens. Saiba. Once you've seen the worst times, that fear is out. You say that okay, I can't go any below this. I can only see, and maybe that illustrated the fact you've lost Abhishek, who's your star performer, and yet he has the ability to whack a sixer.
Yes, I think that is the confidence that one has in oneself. He's had a very good season so far. He got 100 against New Zealand. He's got a couple of half centuries in the T20 matches as well. So clearly he's in form. He's in good touch, and he's cashing in on that. What's important is he's not taking good form for granted. A lot of batters take good form for granted and therefore look to go bang bang, and look to play extravagant shots, which is out of their territory to start with. You can go out of your territory once you're set. Then you can look to explore the other regions, and that's exactly what we've seen from him. He doesn't. He just plays there in that strength of his. Then he opens out, maybe a little bit over there. Maybe he'll play across the line a little bit, and that is the best part about his batting. Is he's not taking his form for granted. He wants to, go on with it, cash in on it, because look, he's seen the down. As Harbhajan said, what you miss if you've been in the Indian team, then if you're out of it, man, you miss it. You want to be in that change room. You want to be in that team bus going to the ground. You want to be in that team bus coming after winning with all the masti maza that happens in the team bus, the masti maza in the change room. That is what you miss. It's not just the cricket, it's that mateship that you miss. And therefore, he's learned from that, and he wants to make sure he's never left out because of himself. He might be left out because of maybe, a bit of bad luck, bad fortune, but otherwise, nothing that he will contribute.
Talking about Masti Maza, not just Ishan would have been missing that. I'm sure the Indian team would have been missing, because I believe he brings a lot of Masti Maza to the Indian camp, so they would be missing that too. But talking about Masti Maza, it wasn't Masti Maza for the Pakistan team as well as their board chief in Mohsin Naqvi. The news that we are getting, and you can see those visuals up on your screen right now, is that Mohsin Naqvi, who came here, of course the head of the Pakistan Cricket Board, the Interior Minister of Pakistan, came here with a lot of fanfare. He came on a private jet, came with all his entourage, thought that it will be a good game. Pakistani media is reporting that he had planned that he will take the Sri Lankan president to meet the Pakistan team. So the plans were in place. Unfortunately, the Indian team, ensured that those plans can be put to rest. And what really happened was, Pakistan at 78 for 6. You can see those pictures. Mr. Naqvi actually made a quick retreat from the stadium, sat in his luxury car, and was away from the stadium when they lost the wicket of Nawaz. 78 for 6. He had given up hope, and he left. Of course, soon after that, they were down to 7, then 9, and all out for 114. Bajuba, we saw Mr. Naqvi give a pep talk. Of course, he's the head of their board, to the team before the game. But if you're a true leader, you need to be there after they've lost and not, vanish. I think he's left Colombo as well, what we heard.
Well, obviously, a true leader stand by the team or with their soldier. If you're winning or losing, that's part of the game. Of course, you win sometime, you lose sometime, but it's important to back your own players, which we didn't see. Obviously, leaving the ground was an easy option, and facing the challenge was a difficult one. And of course, yet again, he showed the true face of his that running away from the big challenges and just trying to give those big statements here and there. We will not play, we will not do this, we will not do that, but ended up being here, watching the game. And when they are losing, he had no way to go but to go back home. Would have been better for him or for his team to actually face what all happened. And I always say to keep politics affair away from the game. He may have planned that Sri Lankan government or the president to meet the team. That could have happened even after the game. Win or lose, that's part of the game. But why you want that political thing, want to get involved with the game? So I think he needs to obviously back his team when the team is not doing well. When the team is doing well, there are a lot of chacha tayas then become their fathers also.
Yeah, I can give you the example of our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. After India lost the final of the 2023 World Cup, he went in the change room. He talked to the players, talked about it being a game, He put his arm around all the players and told them that you tried your best and you played so well. It can happen. I mean, that is leadership. It's not just being there when you won. It's being there as a leader to tell the boys that look, you tried your best. In sport, this can happen. Maybe it can happen to India one day. Another team will come in like Australia did in 2023. But not necessarily Pakistan. Some other team can. And that is what leadership is all about. Being with the team when they need you the most.
That's interesting. Mr. Gavaskar mentioned when he said any team can beat you, not Pakistan, but any other team can beat you on a given day. Talking about Mr. Naqvi, do you think, because we always talk about India, Pakistan's about pressure, do you think, coming, speaking to the team, maybe, giving them those pep talks, obviously those talks will revolve around, you have to go out, give your best, and as players, both of you have played, does that add more pressure and does more harm than good for any team?
Well, let me tell you, during the time that I played, we never had any political leader coming and telling us, how to play. They might send you good wishes, but nothing like coming and telling you pep talk that you must win, you have to win. Because that adds to the pressure for sure. It's just like I think they all know that every player has given it everything. They've practiced so hard, they've prepared for it, and like I said, in sport, you win some, you lose the occasional one, and therefore. We've never experienced that, but I don't think it will be a very pleasant experience. Sit there, quietly, because look, also as a team, you want to be left with your own thoughts. You want to be left with your own mental preparation. Your captain, coach, your support staff have already told you what's expected of you, what is to be done, etc. in certain situations. You want to then, be left to yourself. So you plan your own game. Whatever your bowling is, whatever your batting is, that is the best way to go. You don't want additional pressure here. That is something that
I mean, we saw that in the Asia Cup also. Mr. Naqvi was there, actually walked into the practice session before the India game, and we saw it was 3-0 there as well. Is he doing more harm to his team?
Well, I don't even know why we are even talking about him. Is he that important that we want to talk about him?
He kept the cricket
on our
world
Indian channels. He's
kept
not that important for us, that we are talking about him. For us, he's no one, and he might be someone for the Pakistan.
So he threatened not to play the India game.
Well, then why did
they play? Why did they play? The point is, Bangladesh was not reinstated into the team. So into the World Cup. So you were staying in solidarity with that, and if you were staying in solidarity with that, you should have said you're not playing the World Cup. Instead, you said, "Oh, we will not play India." So what was that? You eventually came and played India, and so all this is best what is called hot air, and I wouldn't want to say from where the air comes from. I'll leave it to the viewers' imagination.
Okay, we'll focus on the Indian team.
Yes, this is what is more important than.
No, we spoke about Ishan Kishan, the star that we have. We spoke about how the victory is feeling really sweet, but. In terms of when we came into this game, we said all boxes are not ticked at the moment. Do you think this particular game, those few problem areas we were having in terms of batting collapses, do you think this has been sorted with this game? India take another, leaf out of their earlier template and go even stronger into the tournament from here?
So Sunny sir mentioned yesterday that, of course, one odd thing which India would like to see getting better at is Abhishek's form. Once Abhishek gets going, everything will fall in place. His role is in the first 6 overs to give that fly start to India, and the day that will happen, you'll see India scoring easily 200, 215, 20. But do we need 200, 220 every time we bat? That is the question. But I think yesterday was the right example. Even 175 on such condition where you know that this can be a winning total. You focus on that rather than looking to score 200. Yes, you as a team always want those 10-15 runs more, but sometimes trying to score those 15-20 odd runs more can put you in trouble. So yesterday intent was really good. Ishan started off really well, and his inning actually gave that platform for Surya and others to come in and play. Take your time and play normal cricket, and you see what happens in the end. India got 175, which on this wicket was a far bigger total than, if you think, this was 175 only. I think this was more than 200 if you see the wicket, how it was playing.
Yeah, in fact,
One maybe unsolicited advice to Abhishek Sharma: just knock a single first. That's it. Then you can start banging about after that. But just knock a single. Knock a single. Maybe take a quick single where your legs also move quickly. Then after that you go on. Look, last couple of 2-3 times he's got on 0-0-0-0. I mean, one is one. But it just gives you that feeling like, okay, fine, I've got off the mark. Let me now try and get back to my normal game.
you're absolutely right. What Harbhajan says that 175 on this pitch, and what you loved was Ishan Kishan came post match, said 160 was enough. Suryakumar Yadav came and said 155. When we were batting, we knew 155.
I am saying
game was
130 was enough for Pakistan on this wicket. They're not the team. They could have chased even 130, and that too on a pitch where it was a lot of help. And of course, when they are batting second, I don't see them getting those 120, 130 even against India.
Okay, on that note, thank you so much, Harbhajan Singh, Sunny Gavaskar, for joining us.